So, good morning everybody. Welcome to the 19th of January, and maths this morning is about solving multiplication problems. So that means we're going to be needing to think carefully about the vocabulary we've used so far for multiplication: groups, equal groups, lots, arrays, repeated addition, multiplication times table. You're going to be having to use all these skills we've worked on so far, so recognising equal groups and making them, adding those equal groups together, maybe using the multiplication symbol, writing multiplication sentences, and turning things into arrays, as well as linking it to our bar model. And then we're going to look at, for the rest of the week, our 2, 5 and 10 times table. Let's warm up our maths brain though to start off with our flashback 4 questions. Brilliant. Now you've had a go at your questions for this morning, let's have a think about the answers to them. So it says complete the number bond 60 add equals 100. So look at this 100 square to help you. We've got 60 coloured in, and these are rows or columns, I should say, of 10. So we've got 6 columns of 10 coloured in, and we've got 4 white ones. 4 groups of 10 is 40. And a little way to check that would be, I know 6 add 4 is 10, so 60 add 40 is 100. Okay, what will you add to 11 to make 20? So 11 count on 9 gives us 20. Our next question thinks about completing that part whole model. Now, most of you, I think, will probably have done it in this way. You would have said, I can see 3 tens, which is 30, and 9 ones. Some of you might have challenged yourself and done it slightly differently. You might have said there are 22 tens, which is 20, and 19 ones, because you've moved around the tens and the ones and the tens a bit. Either way, they're absolutely fine, but if you've done a different way, get your adult to check and see if you're correct. So the final question is, how long is the pencil? So this pencil, we're looking at measuring it in cubes today, is 1, count with me, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to write the sentence, the pencil cubes long. Okay, so the maths for today is thinking about solving multiplication problems. And before we look at the problem bit over here, I'd like to introduce you or remind you of rucksack. So if you haven't used it before, let's go through it. We've got R is for read. So that's reading our question. That's in our yellow box today, really carefully. We're then going to underline important information and understand it. So we're going to get a pencil and we're going to underline the bits we think are really important. We'll then need to choose. We're going to need to choose whether we're doing an addition or a multiplication, a subtraction or a division. We're then going to solve it and then answer it by writing a sentence. And we'll think about some ways to check as well. So let's start with this problem and reading it. 6 children have 5 biscuits each. How many biscuits are there altogether? 6 children have 5 biscuits each. How many biscuits are there altogether? That's my read done. I'm going to underline. So 6 children. Now I've underlined 6 children, and what I've done down here ready is I've got 6 children down here ready. Okay? 6 children have 5 biscuits, and I've given each child 5 biscuits. So here are my 6 children, and here are their biscuits that they've got. And we want to know how many biscuits they have all together. So how many biscuits is this all together? Let's underline it. And the other one I'm going to use to help me understand and underline my problem is I'm going to fill out this. How many equal groups? I have got 6 equal groups of 5. Okay, so I now need to think about choosing what I'm going to do. I could choose a repeated addition or a multiplication. I'm going to do both to show you both. So this one would be, I've got 5 biscuits for child 1, child 2's got 5, child 3's got 5, child 4's got 5, child 5's got 5, and child 6 has got 5. So we've got equal groups of 5. Or I could do my multiplication and say 6, I've got 6 children with equal groups of 5 biscuits. How am I going to, I've chosen what I'm going to do. So how am I going to solve my problem? I'm going to use counting in 5s to solve my problem. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So I've solved my problem by counting in 5s, which is 5 add 5 is 10, 5 more is 15, 5 more is 20, 5 more is 25, and 5 more is 30. That's a little check there. And 6 lots of 5 are 30. 6 equal groups of 5 are 30. So the answer to our problem, we need to write a sentence. There are 30 biscuits. And as I've been going along with that, I have been checking because I counted this bit and I counted up here as well. So I'm going to read this question to you, and then I'd like you to spend a couple of minutes seeing if you could have a go yourself. So there are 3 rabbits, have 2 carrots each. How many carrots altogether? 3 rabbits have 2 carrots each. How many carrots altogether? Think about what picture you're going to need to make to help you underline and understand. And then can you use this to help you choose, solve and answer? Right, well done for having a go. I'm going to have a go and talk you through it now. So our first important information is I have 3 rabbits. Let's get my rabbits ready. 1, 2, 3. My next bit of important information I'm going to underline is they have 2 carrots. So let's give my rabbits their carrots. I'm going to try and organise it into a nice, neat array. Here we go. So I've given my rabbits their carrots and it's in arrays. So my final piece of underlining I'm going to do is the all together. So I want to know how many carrots we have all together. So let's fill our little sentence out here so I understand what I've got. I know that there are 3 equal groups of 2. Now how do I calculate that? What do I choose to do? So that's my underline done. So I could choose to do a repeated addition of 2 carrots for bunny 1, 2 carrots for bunny 2, and 2 carrots for bunny 3. Or I could choose to do 3 times 2, which we know is the same as that. It's just a different way of writing it. Okay. So how am I going to solve it? I'm going to solve it by counting in 2s. 2, 4, 6. So that is 2, 4. So we've got 2 add 2 is 4, and 2 more is 6. So I've solved my answer. But now I have to write my answer, remembering I need to tell everybody how many carrots there are. There are 6 carrots. Now I could use my array this time to help me check. And you know that arrays we did it as groups of 2 this way. But we could check it by looking at it as 2 groups of 3. We know 3 add 3 is 6. So I've done a little check there at the end. Okay, here's a different question, but this time I've used a bar model. I'm going to read the question to you again, and this time have a pause and see how might you complete the bar model for this one, and then go on to underline, choose and solve an answer. So a flower has 5 petals. How many petals do 6 flowers have? A flower has 5 petals. How many petals do 6 flowers have? Press pause and see if you can have a go. Brilliant. So I'd already read it to you. Let's do the underlining bit. See whether you've got the same underlining as me. So I'm going to underline 5 petals. And here I've got a flower with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 petals to help me. How many petals do 6 flowers need? Okay, so I've got one flower with 5 petals. I'm going to need 6 of them. So here we go. So moving them all away. 2, there's 3, 4, 5. So I want to know how many petals do all these flowers have. I'm going to use the bar model to help me because look, I'm going to put a flower here and here. Ooh. Yeah, flowers. I'm going to put a flower in each section at the bottom of our bar model. Okay, so there we go. Now we could be a little bit fancy and see if we can just colour that in the right colour. There we go. So we can see the lines a little bit better. So now I've underlined my problem. So now you can see clearly that we have got to do 5, add 5, add 5, add 5, add 5, add 5. So I have got 6 equal groups of 5. And I've just told you my repeated addition. I'm going to have to make my repeated addition up here longer. So I've got 5, add 5, add 5, add 5. Let me check I've got 6 flowers. 1 flower, 2 flowers, 3 flowers, 4 flowers, 5 flowers, 6 flowers. Now, we can turn this into a multiplication for our choose what we're going to do. We're going to choose to add, multiply. And we know that repeated addition can be turned into multiplication of 6 flowers with 5 petals each. So let's count in 5s for the petals. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So I can type in this bit here. There are 30 flowers, 30 petals on all of those flowers. So let's solve, or we've done the choose, let's give our choose a tick. We've just solved it as well by counting in 5s. So there we go, so we've got 30 and 30 here. Let's write our answer then. So our answer is there are 30 petals. Excellent. So we've done that today, and we could use a multiplication or an add-in to check. So I've not got a thinking question today. I'm going to move straight into having a go at solving some of these problems. So having a think back to what we've done, you use a bar model or arrays to show how you've solved these 3 questions. And I popped rucksack over here for you. I'll tell you what, actually, shall I pop in? I'm going to just grab this for you to help you remember what. Here's a bar model. Let's paste this onto this page here for you. Make it a little bit smaller. So remember, that is the bar model. Put that over there. And let's find a picture of an array for you. Let's go to the bunny rabbit page and let's pick up that array for you. If I rub out some of these pencil marks though, here's the picture of an array to help you remember. So for your questions today, you need to try and use a bar model or an array to help you solve your problem. Oh, jumping onto tomorrow's. So I'll pop, here we go, let's get the pencil. So got distracted there. So, put that one here. So here we go, let's start again. Use it's silver, it's using a bar model, example here, or arrays, example here. We've got 3 questions you need to solve. I've also put the way I've solved them down here. So we wrote our sentence, there are equal groups of to help us understand and underline. We could choose a repeated addition. You might have more or less bits to yours. And we could use a multiplication. I did both ways if I like. And then finally we need to write our sentence. Gold is a question, but it is a little bit trickier because it says who has the most marbles. Okay, so you're going to have to do 2 lots of thinking and then decide, is it Mo who has the most marbles or Kyle? And finally, we've got a slightly different word problem. Again, we've got Mrs. Jones needs 32 pencils and they come in packs of 5, and she thinks she needs 8 packets. You need to decide, is she right? And have a think about how you could explain your answer using an array or a bar model. Really looking forward to seeing your maths on Dojo. Have a great day.